Coach, I know this never gets old. I know it's your fourth time, but it seems maybe a little more special. You had your grandchildren come out with you. How cool was the pregame experience?
It doesn't get old. Let me first of all say how impressed I was with Queen's staff and team. I think they sat on the bench and watched that. A lot of coaches and players wouldn't do that. How often does an opponent even get to see something like that? And I made sure I told their coach how impressed I was with the class of that. I thought those in charge at LSU couldn't have made it any better. They gave out the banners. Did y'all get one? I told them not to give the media any. Did any of y'all get any? If you did, I need it. I didn't know they did that until I was signing some of it. It's only appropriate that it goes up above the student section. This is their school, their team. They've helped us so much. It was done really first class. And you're right, I've seen 3 more of those. These rings, I'm so glad that I don't design them. I'm so glad I don't wear them. Have y'all seen them? I don't even know who could wear those things. They're so huge. But everything that happened last year is on that piece of metal. And that's what was impressive. I mean, the scores of every game in the playoffs on the inside. Our theme was there. Our playoff theme was there. Everything that these young ladies and those part of the program will go back many years from now and go, God, remember all of that. And so whoever designed them in our office, kudos to them. They did a great job.
Yeah, Ken, what were you most pleased with tonight?
Well, I don't even care that we scored in the hundreds. I am so focused on defense right now. I am challenging some of them like they've never been challenged in their life. From body language to being in a stance, to talking on defense, to fist bumping somebody, to high-fiving somebody, and then, where should you be? Where are your angles? And it's just got to be that way. And it wasn't a wake-up call for us. Are you kidding me? It was a learning experience. Colorado is good, and I knew that when we put them on the schedule. But it's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's. I think you saw more energy tonight from all of the returning players, and I think they said it best. They gave you their honest answers. They didn't tell Scott how much paint was left on the walls. I told them not to because we just paid for that in a new locker room. But just getting better defensively. And listen, we're not a polished product. We're a work in progress. I don't know when it'll be really, really good, but we'll get there.
Yeah, Coach. Offensively, 68 points in the paint, 24 points at the line. Is that more of, especially with somebody starting, working inside out, what you want to see?
We're going to always have good. Listen, this game is interesting. I have been blessed to coach a lot of great post players, a lot of great point guards, and a lot of great shooters. We have that on this team. We can share the wealth. They can all score. But what we've got to do is focus on the defensive end. If you see a kid's numbers, throw them the ball. Because what's going to happen, Angel will get double and triple teamed at some point, and she's going to find you. She will find you. She will find the open player. We have to, as guards, always see through the lane. Some of them have never had to see through the lane. All they see is come set me a pick and I'm shooting. So there's just all those things on the offensive end that we'll work on as well, but they're not more important right now than our defense.
Yeah, Coach, and about that defense, I mean, you call a timeout in the second half after Nicole Gwynn kind of has a series of threes. What did you kind of tell them in the huddle during that timeout? Because after she kind of went cold.
I don't know that I had to say a whole lot. I think Angel Reese was pretty much taking over the huddle as a captain. Let me guard her. Let me guard her. And that's what I want to see out of Angel. I want to see Angel have that fire. And you got to remember, a lot of those were on freshmen. A lot of those threes were on freshmen. So those moments they're getting on that floor are valuable even when it's bad, something bad like that happening, because it's a teaching moment. And then to watch your upperclassmen challenge the younger ones, like, come on, you're out there, we believe it, So what I did see is those freshmen at the end, they were excited. They didn't go in there and think of that as trash minutes. They're going in there trying to say, I need to get this woman's attention. And they played with a spark about them. They played like you hope they will. And you had 4 freshmen and a Monty out there, and I was really, really pleased how they finished the game.
Got time for a couple more questions here.
Hey, Coach. I want to go back a little bit to the banner and the rings. You mentioned yesterday how you were excited to see players and coaches have that experience for the first time in their careers. So I'm wondering, if you go back to your first time raising a banner, getting a ring, what were the emotions there at that time?
Reed, I can't remember that far back. The older you get, the only thing you remember is what happened a minute ago. I really, for me, the emotion of a ring ceremony is not more than the moment you cut those nets down or the moment that clock ticks to 0. As a coach, I kind of move on after that. I'm thinking about recruiting. I'm thinking about all those things we have to do. This is really the finality of talking about that championship anymore, in my opinion, but it's not an emotion that's bigger than the emotion of that last minute left in a championship game, cutting those nets down. So I was excited. Alexis Morris was here. I'm sorry LaDeja couldn't be here, and Jasmine, and then Emily was here. You love it for them, but I think they would all tell you, you can't cry any more tears than we all cried when that net was cut down. That was just special.
What did What did you think of the short clip of your introductory press conference right before the banner went up?
I watched it, and I can't hear down there. Y'all get I guess it's the speakers go out. So I'm like, help me hear. I take it what it said was when I was introduced here, I made everybody look at the Final 4 banners, and I made the comment, there's no national championship banner here. And that's what I came home to do. And if that's what it was saying, got that monkey off my back, didn't I? But it was fun. It was fun to come home. It's fun to do that. And now we have built this program back to relevancy. And that's where you want to stay. Will we win another one? Guys, do you know how hard it is to win one? Start naming coaches. Write an article on all the great coaches that never won one. And then write how many years they coached and never won one. It's hard. I have been so blessed to say, I've won 4 at 2 different institutions. That doesn't just happen. Why does it happen? It's not me. It's the people I surround myself with, the coaches, and get players, and they believe in what we're doing. And it's just hard. I think my son said it best. Guys, we're on that plane coming back from Vegas, and no one on that plane or in that locker room is going to hurt more than I do. That's just me. That's my personality. I'm going to beat myself up. And he just puts his hand on my back, and he watched his mom all these years, and all he said was, Mom, it never stops for you, does it? Think about that. It never stops until you retire. That's what the type A personality coaches do. They're constantly tossing and turning. They're constantly thinking about the next thing they have to do. How do we get better? And that's kind of how I approach losses. It's kind of how I approach wins. But I've been blessed. Those of you guys were there. Who was not at the national championship? Most all of you probably were. If not, you saw it on TV. Our institution needed that. Our state needed that feel good. People were in the stands there that aren't even LSU alums. They either grew up with me, or they're from Louisiana, or they were even Baylor fans. That's what you want to do as a coach. You want to do something impactful. And gosh, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
One final question right here.
Yeah, Kim, maybe you kind of answered it there, but two-part question. I'm wondering just the sweetness of being able to deliver on the quote-unquote promise that you made when you were introduced, and then two, I'm just wondering about the team and tonight heading into this game. Did you maybe see a different look in their eye before they took the court tonight?
Well, I don't. When you say a promise, I didn't think at the time I was making a promise. I just said that's what I came home to do. I didn't say I was going to get it done, but that's what I came home to do. Joe Namath promised something, didn't he, when he was a Jet? I didn't make a promise. I just was saying this is what I want to do here. I think when I walked in that locker room before the game, you had a lot of kids who didn't know whether to smile or to just be in a real sour-faced mood. And so I let that take place, and that's from that practice yesterday, because we didn't practice Tuesday, we practiced yesterday, and when I tell you it was intense and hard, it was so whatever. I had to ask Bob, you need to take over. I need to take a deep breath here. And that man deserves to be in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. There's only 2 associate head coaches in there, and if Bob Starkey doesn't get in there, it would be terrible mistake on the part of the women's basketball people, because that man he's going to extend my career is what he's going to do, because he says things the way I say it. He's intense like I am, and in moments like yesterday he needed to step up and help me, and he just takes right over for me. So they want to please, they're not comfortable yet. And it's okay to be uncomfortable right now. I want them to be uncomfortable. Tonight in the huddles, I was saying things to several of them, and I want them to be uncomfortable. I want them to hurt, and I want them to remember how bad that was Monday. And it wasn't the loss. It was how you played. No guts, no fire, no heart, no energy. I believe teams are a reflection of their head coach. And that's not who I am. And I'm not going to put that product on the floor again. We're going to lose games. But if we lose it with fire and intensity and defense and rebounding, I'm going to walk in that locker room and hug their neck. I want to say this, guys. Janice Lawrence, you need to write something on that kid. That kid needs to be in the Naismith Hall of Fame. Look at her resume. The young lady I introduced tonight, first time I've seen her since 1984. And she and I won 3 AAU championships out of a team in New Orleans, Dominoes. We won 2 national championships at Louisiana Tech, went to 4 Final Fours at Louisiana Tech. We played in 84 Olympics together with Pat Summitt. Those are the kind that get lost in the shuffle. That girl is the best, in my opinion, post player that I ever played with at Louisiana Tech, and I played with some great ones. She could use that backboard. We called her Windex. Thank y'all. See ya.